So determine the magnitude of the resultant forces forces acting on the screw eye and its direction measured clockwise. Clockwise siya. Clockwise from the x-axis. So first is we have to put our gun diagram. This is IM and this is RE. Second is we have to put from here this to this is, and this is the resultant FR result. This will be 45-degree and negative angle, and this will be 120 from this. Angle to 1 is equals to 2 angle of negative 45 kn f2 6 angle of negative 120 degree. So F resultant is equals to F1 plus F2 equals to the value of F1 is 2 angle of negative 45 kn angle of negative 120 kn. So in calculator 103. So number two is a ship leaves port and sail on a bearing of north 47 degree east for 3.5 hours. It then turns and sail on a bearing of south 43 angle to east for 4 hours. If the ship rate speed of is 22 knot or nautical mile per hour, find the distance that the ship is from port. Is the ship from port? So first we have to draw the north, south, west, east. So the north is from 47 east, 47 east. Seven angle. This angle. This will be west, south. So this will be 47 angle, and this will be 47 angle, and this is 90 angle. So we have 22 4 hours times 22 nautical mile, 88 nautical mile. So we have 3.5 hours times 22 nautical miles per hour equals to 77 nautical miles. So for next step is we have to find this will be our z1, z2, z1. Our z1 is this z1 equals to 47 3 hours will be 7 angle to 0. This will be 0 angle. And z2 equals to 88 angle of 90 degree. So we have to get the value. This will be x. So x equals to z2 minus z1 equals to 88 angle of 90 minus 77, which is the angle of 0. So the value of x will be equals to 116.92 nautical miles. This so number 3 is a circuit. So we have ohms of 4 and velocity ang volume of 20, angle of 60, and then we have a resistance of 2 and negative J1 ohms and J4 ohms, and we have voltage of 15 angle of 0 V. So first is we have voltage 2 and voltage 1. So the positive here is going here and the positive voltage is going here, so it will become minus. So we have V 2 is equals to V1 minus 20 angle of 60 degree, because minus done. So this will be the volume over the ohms or the resistance, which mean I is equals to V and R minus V1 over J4 here plus V2 over J negative 1 over 2. So next step is we 15 angle of 0 over 4 minus, we have to 4 equals to 1 over J4 is equals to negative V J 0.25 plus 1 over a negative J1 is equals, or the value of I mean the value of v2 here, v1 minus 20 angle of 60 all over negative j1 plus value v1 minus 20 angle of 60 all over 2. Next step is we have to evaluate this using calculator, which is 3.75 minus v1 0.25 equals to negative v1 j 0.25 plus v or j1 plus v2, which we have no v1, this will be v1 and this will be v1 over 2 plus negative, which is here 20 60 angle over negative j1 plus negative 20 angle of 60 degree over 2. So next step will be 75 minus, but we have to evaluate this, and this. v1 0.25 equals to v1 j 0.25 plus v1, which is evaluation of this, 0.25 plus v1 0.5, so the evaluation of this plus if we evaluate this, we have negative 40, I mean 90 angle of negative 30 plus negative 10 angle of 60. So next step is we have to separate the v all here, this and this. 3.75 minus 90 30 angle of 30 this plus 10 angle of 60 degree equals to v1. So all of the v1 will factor 0.25 minus j 0.25 plus j 0.5 plus 0.5. Next step will be we have to separate, or we have to simplify this and this. So we have 3.75 minus 17.32 plus j11 plus 5 plus j8.66 and simplification of this, so equals to v, if we simplify this, and 0.75 minus j 0.25. So next step is we have to get the value of v1. This is v1, so v1 907, so negative if we evaluate this, I mean this, plus j1866 all over 0.75 minus j 0.75. Okay, 75. So next step will be, if we evaluate this into polar form, 20.75 angle of 69.08 all over 1.06 angle of -45. So if we will evaluate this using calculator, it will become 19.58 angle of 108. If we evaluate this, V1 19.58 angle of 70.92 angle. So this will be the final answer. So next we have to solve the value of V2, volume or voltage 2. So the value of V1 earlier is 19.58 angle of 70.92. We have to minus it to 20 angle of 60 degree. So next step is we have to turn this into a rectangular form. 6.40 plus j of 18 50 minus we have to 50 plus j 86.60. So next step is we have to evaluate. We have 80. We have 80.86. If we evaluate 80.86 angle of 57.37. So the final answer will be negative. So the final answer will be 80.86 angle of 122.63 is the value of V2. Answer. So what I have learned in number 1 is we have to first is measure the clockwise from the x-axis. So from the x-axis, so we have to measure the angle. So we have here the angle for 45 will become -45, and it will become the angle here is -120, and also we have to use the force the resultant vector formula, which is F1 and F2, to answer the resultant of this of number 1. So what I have learned in number 2 is that we have to convert the 4 hours times into 22 nautical miles per hour. It will become 88 nautical miles, I mean. So next is the 3.5 hours will convert into nautical miles by times into 22 nautical miles per hour. It will become 77 nautical miles. So next, that what I have learned is change the angle. Here is when the boat sail or veer into here, this direction will become 90 degrees, and when the boat, I mean the ship, is reaching here will become 0 degree. So next is we have to use the formula in the distance formula, which is z2 minus z sub 2 minus z sub 1, in order to simplify, in order to get the value of the distance. So the final distance is 116.93. So what we have learned in number 3 is that we have to find first the voltage. So we have the voltage battery, which if the ampere will intersect each other, it will become minus. So the voltage 2 will become equal to the voltage 1 minus, which is the voltage 1 here, voltage 1 minus to the 20 angle. And then next is we have to use the formula of I ampere is equals to the voltage over the resistance. And then here's the voltage and the resistance of 4. Using this 15 minus the voltage 1 over the resistance of 4. And then second is voltage 1 here over the J4 ohms plus the voltage 2 over the negative J1 ohms, and the voltage 2 plus voltage 2 of 2 ohms. So and so on, we have so on in getting the value of V1 and then also the V2.